Proud to serve northeastern and central Pennsylvania. This is WNEP 16, the news station. Now, Nolan Johannes, Karen Harch, Chief Meteorologist Tom Clark with his backyard forecast, and Joe Zone on sports. This is the Newswatch 16 update.
Good evening. The state Senate wants to force us to buckle up.
The Senate in Harrisburg has okayed a bill that would require seatbelts in Pennsylvania. The mandatory seatbelt bill must still get the okay by the state house before it can become a law, but supporters say the fact that it has passed the Senate is very encouraging. The bill would require all Pennsylvania drivers and their front seat passengers to buckle up. Anyone caught not wearing a seatbelt would be fined $20. There would be exemptions for medical reasons and for cars made before 1966 that don't have seatbelts. Supporters say the bill would save hundreds of lives each year in Pennsylvania. Opponents say the state has no business forcing drivers to buckle up. But as we said, it must still get the okay from the State House and the governor before the seatbelt bill becomes a law.
The state attorney general has set up a special task force to study the problem of family violence and find new ways of dealing with it. The panel will look into crimes against the elderly, spouses, and it'll begin by focusing on crimes against children, such as child sexual abuse. One of the goals to make people more aware of the problem. Night Beat reporter Kathy Bellich says that's exactly what another group set out to do tonight in Wilkes-Barre.
It had all the elements of a real trial: judge, prosecution and defense, jury, and testimony from witnesses. In this mock child sexual assault trial, the victim is a 10-year-old girl, the defendant, her mother's live-in boyfriend.
He told me to pull up my pants and my underwear.
The victim was portrayed by 13-year-old Angela Lavery of Wilkes-Barre. She had to detail some sexually explicit testimony.
It's very hard. It's so disappointing. It takes a lot out of you, and it takes really guts to really go up there and talk about it. And I'm pretty proud about the kids, proud of the other kids that go up there and tell them, because it's pretty hard.
The Victims Resource Center in Luzerne County wants to make everyone more aware of all that's involved when a child is the victim of sexual assault. The center says often female jurors are much too hard on the victims, making them prove they're innocent. The mock victim says she wanted to reach out to real victims.
If they watch this, I hope this makes them feel more better about it, and that if it really, you're doing something for other people too. You're helping the other person that did it to you, and you're even helping yourself and helping other kids to tell the truth and to show that it's not their fault.
The jury found the defendant guilty.
The Victims Resource Center is hoping this mock trial will educate people who might someday end up in that jury box making important decisions about important cases like this one. Kathy Bellich, Newswatch 16, Wilkes-Barre.
Doctors here in the United States are a bit skeptical about a new treatment for AIDS. 3 French doctors held a news conference today to announce that 2 AIDS patients treated with a drug called cyclosporin A showed dramatic improvement. The drug is the same when used to treat transplant patients.
I would encourage AIDS patients to see anyone who is able to give cyclosporin, which is anyone in the world. I mean, you can get this medicine everywhere.
But the doctors admit their treatment is only experimental and is definitely not a cure for AIDS. And the medical community says a lot more testing is needed to prove that AIDS treatment actually works.
Pennsylvania's 2 artificial heart patients are doing fine tonight with their new human hearts. In Pittsburgh, the Jarvik 7 patient, Thomas Gaidash, got the human heart first offered to Anthony Mandia at Hershey Medical Center. Mandia's doctors rejected it as being too big for him. In Hershey, the Penn State heart patient is doing okay tonight with his new human heart from a woman donor who died in West Virginia. Newswatch 16's Dan Fiorucci reports from Hershey that it won't be too long before today's modern artificial heart will be looked upon as a sort of Model T.
We feel that the Penn State heart acquitted itself very, very well in this experiment.
Even as doctors here congratulate themselves over the success of the Penn State heart, there is another artificial heart waiting in the wings, the fully implantable electric heart.
And the air is forced in and out of this cabinet. You can see
Unlike present artificial hearts, which work off air pressure and require bulky compressors to power them, the electric heart, now being developed at Hershey, requires only a portable 4.5-pound battery for power.
So over the man's right shoulder is a battery pack that contains the necessary batteries to run this device for approximately 10 hours.
In animal tests, the electric heart has kept the calf alive for 222 days. The animal died only because it outgrew the pumping capacity of the heart. It'll be 5 to 10 years before the electric heart is available for implantation in humans, but doctors say when it is ready, it may benefit 5,000 to 15,000 people a year as a permanent implant. People now dying because there aren't enough donated human hearts to go around. Dan Fiorucci, Newswatch 16, Hershey.
Coming up, why the Secretary of the Navy is upset with the government.
Plus, a little later, what may be new at the Newswatch 16 Update Video Zoo.
I just read the news. Ponderosa introduces steak at burger prices. How can McDonald's compete? A Big Mac and fries cost about $2.20. Ponderosa sells steak for $2.65. A tender, juicy, parboiled steak roll and heaps of fries for $2.65. For around 50 cents more. Instead of this, you get steak. America will never be the same. Ponderosa steak at burger prices.
That Soviet sailor who jumped off his ship into the Mississippi River last week is headed back to the Soviet Union. U.S. officials say they are now convinced that Miroslav Medved does not want to defect. The sailor jumped off the ship last Thursday. At first, immigration officials returned him to the boat when they couldn't understand him. Later, U.S. officials who felt the sailor might want to defect took him off the Soviet ship for an interview. After talking with the officials, the Soviet seaman signed a statement saying he wants to go home.
In Northumberland County tonight, they were honoring a man who has given so much to the community. Michael Kivko, who is an attorney now, was given the Fred Pirmati Youth Services Award, presented each year by the Juvenile Court and its advisory board. Earlier today, Newswatch 16's Valerie Devine spent some time with the man who earned this year's award.
This is what Michael Kivko remembers the most. He spent 10 years of his life as a judge at the Northumberland County Courthouse. His friends still call him judge, and in his heart, Mike Kivko admits his work here was some of the most important of his life.
One really is a partner of the Lord's when he sits up there, because he's got to make decisions that will shape the lives and involve the fortunes of people.
Michael Kivko was involved in many community organizations in Sunbury, the Boy Scouts and Rotary, to name a few. He spent 12 years as an assistant district attorney. His office used to be here on Market Street. It was destroyed by fire during the Agnes flood in 1972. But the fire didn't destroy the memories, especially of his cases with children. That's where Jackie Pirmati comes in. The award Judge Kivko received is named in honor of her husband. The Pirmatis were foster parents to many of the kids Judge Kivko tried to help.
You had to have a man that had faith in these kids and backed up his faith by giving them a chance in foster care, and that's kind of sticking your neck out, because these kids could have blown, they could have been bad in the community, and it could have come down on his head, but he had enough faith in them to give him a chance, and I think that is incredible.
Michael Kivko says he never expected anything in return for his work. He just hopes more people can learn how to care like he does. Valerie Devine, Newswatch 16, Sunbury.
Next, meteorologist Tom Clark will be heading out to his cold backyard.
Any frost on the windshields tonight, Tom?
Karen, I think every car but yours will have frost on it tonight.
That would be nice.
I saw you scraping. It's going to be frosty again tonight. Not quite as cold as last night, but some changes are coming. Meet me out back.
The black Cadillac, please. Right away, sir.
Excuse me. I believe that's my Buick.
Today, it's not easy to distinguish yourself from the crowd.
The Lincoln Town Car, please. Yes, sir.
But Lincoln builds luxury cars that stand apart. So whether you choose the Town Car, the Continental, or the Mark 7, you'll know there's nothing like a Lincoln. what a luxury car should be.
Hey, you say you're getting tired of lettuce and tomato hamburgers that don't quite make it? Yeah! Then look at McDonald's new McDLT. I'm talking quarter-pound of beef on the hot side. The new McDLT. Hot. Crisp lettuce and tomato on the cool side. The new McDLT. Cool crisp. The beef stays hot. The cool stays crisp. Put it together, you can't resist. Could be the best lettuce and tomato hamburger ever.
It's a good time for the great taste of McDonald's new McDLT.
Well, let's go outside now and find out what's going on and maybe look ahead for Halloween Eve and how the kids will have to dress. Tom?
Let's do that, Nolan and Karen, but first I want to talk about these two rugged machines here, which are guaranteed to take the aches and pains out of removing snow. Now, the winner of our snow blower contest this year has their choice of either one. Now, he or she may decide upon this model, which has 5 forward speeds and 2 in reverse. Or they may want something more lightweight, like this model, which is more suitable for smaller driveways and sidewalks. In any event, the winner has their choice, and a runner-up gets the machine that's left over. Also, 100 runners-up will get 100 of these corduroy John Deere caps, 1 for each 100 runner-up. Now, here's what you have to do to enter and win. On the back of a postcard or the back of an envelope, please, your name, address, phone number, and your prediction of when the first inch of snow will have finished falling here in my backyard. We want the date and the nearest full hour. Now, you can address your card to Snowblower Contest, WNEP TV, Wilkes-Barre, Scranton Airport, Avoca, Pennsylvania, 18641. In case of a tie, and there will be a tie, both the winner and the runner-up will be drawn randomly from all of the correct entries. Now, for the caps, we're going to select 100 names from all of the entries. So good luck. Clear skies in my backyard now. We have, well, it's cold, no doubt about it. The reading is 42. Humidity, very low today, 27%. The wind is north at 7. The barometer is holding steady at 30.24. 50 was the high in Avoca today after the morning low. A frosty start today, no doubt about it. 25 here. I had 18 at my place. Record 76 and 22 for the date. A year ago tonight we had some rain and 66. A view from Skycam 16 today flying over Camelback Mountain in the Poconos. And you can see in the distance the Camelback Ski Resort. No snow yet. Satellite image just in. It shows Juan, no longer a hurricane because the center of the storm remained inland all day today, so it's losing its circulation. Top winds now at 65 miles per hour, but the threat now is still very heavy rain. In excess of 8 inches could fall between now and midday tomorrow as that storm winds its way down along the Gulf Coast. Another band of rain coming north now over the Ohio Valley, raining now in Indiana and parts of Illinois, and it looks like some of the rain from what's left of Juan will venture up into Pennsylvania, could get here by Halloween night. I say it could. It's not definite yet. Here's my forecast for tonight. Another frosted night once again. Not quite as cold as last night. The moon will be shining once again. Lopez, Sullivan County, the icebox of northeastern Pennsylvania, 17. Yatesville, 28. Honesdale, about 25. Minersville, 29 tomorrow morning. Castanea, Clinton County, 30. A southeast wind, very light overnight. Sunrise for tomorrow morning will come at 6:32 and sunset at 5:01 tomorrow afternoon. Starry overnight tonight and bright. 28 will be the low. It won't be a record. Partly cloudy tomorrow. Those cirrus clouds will thicken up, but a dry day, 55 the high. You'll need a jacket once again. Now Thursday, Halloween day, clouding up quite a bit, and then it's possible for some rain to come in Thursday night. If so, it should be light at the start. Now, some rain is possible on Friday and on Saturday as well. So the chances of Indian summer are fading fast.
Okay, Tom.
Thanks,
See you
Tom.
on the update. Joe Zone is up next. Tonight, the Major League All-Star team. And there's one playoff team without a player on it.
Plus, the college football rankings. The Sports Watch next.
Want to try a cherry Coke?
Outrageous. I gotta
take this idea into the 80s.
Jericho, it's the one and only Jericho Coca-Cola. Outrageously smooth, outrageously light.
And now to the year 2000.
Jerry makes it wild, Coca-Cola makes it right. Outrageous.
Who has color TVs for everyone from 9-inch to 45-inch? Who has television with stereo sound? Who has the new compact 20-inch square tube? Who has VCRs with hi-fi stereo sound? Who has the new VHS all-in-one camcorder? Who has complete audio-video entertainment systems with one remote control? It's RCA. And now you can save big during Video Showcase 86.
Available at these area dealers.
An auto recall is in the news tonight. About 15,000 AMC Jeeps are being recalled. American Motors says their 1986 Jeep Cherokee, Wagoneer, and Comanche models, made in Ohio, may have improperly connected fuel line fittings. The recall applies to 14,600 four-cylinder, 2.5-liter engines with fuel injection. Also, about 200 Jeep Grand Wagoneers, J10 and J20 trucks may have contaminated brake fluid. AMC says no accidents or injuries have been reported because of those defects.
Joe Zone is back tonight after a day off, and
Welcome.
you brought your cardboard with you, I see.
Well, no, a lot of people are wondering how this farm vehicle giveaway works that Clarky's got going.
Snowblowers.
Snowblowers. When the cards come in, we put them in these files here, see, and everybody puts their own date on it, and then each date there goes in there. So Mary Claire, the whole newsroom's working. And, you know, you put it in like this, and you feel very secure the way they're going to work it. We spare no expense on these things, folks. Feel secure. It's become obvious Penn State's going to play in a major bowl on New Year's Day. The question's, though, which bowl and against who? Take a look at the rankings. It's also become obvious that Iowa, unless it loses, has a lock on the national championship. Unanimous #1 in both the sports writers and the coaches poll today. Florida, though, #2, ahead of Penn State in the AP poll. Penn State third, Nebraska, Michigan, and Auburn, as you look at some of the differences. And then you go to the next 10. You got to root for Ohio State, folks, to knock off Iowa this week. That's what Go Buckeyes means. Auburn, Air Force, there's Ohio State playing Iowa this week. They've got to knock off Iowa, Oklahoma, Florida State, and the Air Force, #6 in the UPI poll. Now, you're not going to catch Penn State looking past Boston College this week, but I will. And right now, you're looking at a Sugar Bowl matchup with Auburn, an Orange Bowl matchup with Nebraska, or a Cotton Bowl matchup with Baylor. And what you were looking at Saturday was Penn State's first coast of the year. 27-0 over West Virginia. It gave Coach Joe Paterno a chance to put in some kids who have not played at all this year, like number 40, Uford Cooper. How important is it for you to get some of the other people in today that you were able to get in that fourth quarter?
Well, I think it's important right now. I think a lot of our kids are getting frustrated. They work so hard and didn't get to play much, so it was good that we got a chance to play some of them.
Game with Boston College is not on television. It's an early start if you're going. Kickoff at 12:30 on Saturday. The rankings, the college football rankings, the topic of our frustrated fan mail this week. He writes, "Sir," I like that, "you berated the writers' polls this evening. You're right. All these people are inane. Sports writers have nothing to do, so they indulge themselves. Had you gone further on, you would have noticed that Oklahoma was ranked 10th. Miami, who just kicked the blank out of Oklahoma on Saturday, ranked 14th. It's signed Roger Jones, P.S. It was nice to see that you were right once." Thank you, Roger. And by the way, as a person who has to live and die with his own polls, I was not necessarily criticizing the way the college folks do it. I did say that I wouldn't have dropped Michigan 4 places after losing to the #1 team by 2 points. You know, who knows, maybe they'd have Williamsport rated ahead of Berwick in the Super 16. Possible. I am not a Toronto Blue Jays fan, but I think it says a lot about their team when you look at the Associated Press All-Star team and you don't see a Blue Jay on it. They're the only division champion without a single All-Star. Take a look at it. Announced today, Dwight Gooden, the top vote getter. Don Mattingly was a close second. The rest of the team, John Tudor, Tommy Hare, Cal Ripken, George Brett, Willie McGee, Pedro Guerrero, Ricky Henderson is out there. That surprised me. Jeff Reardon and Dan Cleasenberry are they're the relief pitchers. Darrell Evans, the DH, and Whitey Herzog was named the manager of the year. He beat out Pete Rose. Okay? New Yankee manager Lou Piniella wants old Yankee manager Yogi Berra to help him out. That's all of it. Give tonight your best shot. See you tonight after the whatever we have on tonight.
I don't think we have...
There is no more football or baseball, is there? We're done.
What are we going to do? We'll be on right at 11 o'clock then.
Go on to the new stuff.
Okay.
Thanks, Joe.
Thank you, sir.
Halloween is just around the corner, and the little ghouls and goblins are getting set.
And what's the big seller this year for dress up? Well, we'll tell you next as Newswatch 16 continues.
Everybody was there at the Luzerne County Folk Festival, the sons and daughters of the miners and shopkeepers who built this sweet valley. You know, every once in a while, it's good to be reminded of our traditions, of the things that made this valley great, and make bringing you its news very rewarding indeed. The Times Leader, where our beat is your hometown.
Finally, those ghosts and goblins who will be knocking on your door this Halloween might look a little different this year.
Originality seems to be the theme in costumes and makeup this year. We sent our resident goblin, Kathy Bellichow, to check on what she's likely and we're likely to see, asking us for a trick or treat. Kathy, where are you tonight?
Well, I'm in a department store in Dixon City where lots of people are shopping to get their Halloween costumes. And you're right, Nolan. They are planning to do it yourself this year, partly to be creative and partly to save some money because costumes can be really expensive. Now, everyone I talk to this year seems to want to look really ugly. They plan to put all this stuff together, masks, makeup, and costumes to look just about as ugly as possible. What does it do?
This.
Oh, how are you going to get your hand in there when you have it on? Do you want to be ugly like that for Halloween?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I do.
Yeah, just throw on some old jeans or something, you know. Maybe just buy a cape or, you know, anything that would add to it. Even just a sheet, wrap a sheet around or, you know, put sayings on it because I've seen kids do that.
Did you come here specifically looking for this type of costume?
Yes, I wanted to be the devil.
Why?
Because most people think I am.
Why?
I guess the way I act.
Nolan and Karen and I decided to put on my ugliest Halloween face just for you. Are you ready? Boo. Kathy Bellich, live with the Instacam in Dixon City.
No.
Boo.
No.
I just don't like what she said before. All the kids are like you, Nolan. They're trying to be as ugly as possible.
No,
that's
did
what
she say that?
That's what she said. That's all.
Making their own. That's what you do.
That's Newswatch 16 for a Tuesday.
Enjoy your evening.